What's up, y'all? It's March Madness Blades, forging the ultimate knife bracket, and you guys turned out for Selection Tuesday, and we've got all of the competitors seated and in place. Seated, S-E-E-D-E-D, not seated.
That is right. And we do have some heavy favorites coming into this match. And just because you made it into the tournament does not mean you'll make it to the championship. So it's up to you to vote on these.
That's right. It's all in y'all's hands. We don't make these decisions. We base it on your votes. So we're going to have a way for you guys to vote when the tournament starts down in the comments down below. So it could be a poll. It could be an actual interactive bracket. That's going to be available in the description down below. So
we had roughly 100 people enter in to vote on this to select our 8 seeds.
So our selection committee, if you will.
So let's, I'm sure the most anticipated one will be Blade Steel. We'll hold it for last.
There we go.
Let's start off with lock types.
The lock types. This was a very interesting one. And some interesting players here. Some that I didn't expect to perform so well in these competitions. So coming in the first seed, number 1 seed right there, no surprise there is going to be the crossbar lock.
Talk about a very exciting lock out there that everybody has a fun time with. We have a ram lock right here, and then we have the original axis lock that most people wrote down and referred to, but we classified anything with a bar and sliding as
a crossbar.
Yeah. So right here is your number 1 seed, man. It's a strong one. Everybody loves it.
Strong contender right there, and that's gonna be a tough one to unseat coming in on that 1 seed. Now, in for the 2 seed is no slouch at all either, and that's been one that's been really popular for the last couple of years, and that's gonna be the button lock, like this Kaiser Assassin right here. So the button lock has really kind of come to the forefront in the last couple of years and been really popular. It's super fidgety as knives have gotten extremely popular over the last few years, and a lot of fun to play with, and it's also very durable as well. So as long as that spring, which all it does is get compressed, it never gets stretched out or anything like that. As long as that spring that's in the button stays there, you're good to go. And that's going to be a tough contender as well coming in on the 2 seed.
Yeah, I have several button locks myself. Civivi Elementum, I think, is one that really brought that to the market.
Yeah.
They're not the one that invented it, but I feel like that's the one that got in everybody's pocket.
Yeah.
So that was a good one to start with. And so our 3 seed, we don't have one at the table.
This one was a surprising one to me.
Compression.
Compression lock from Spyderco. So Spyderco is pretty much, well, really the only, because they have a patent on that design. So Spyderco is going to be the only contender in that 3 seed spot with the compression lock. But it got a ton of votes. A lot of you like it, and with good reason. It is, I would say, almost like an inverted liner lock. So on the top side, very fidgety, very easy to use. And I like that it forces you to keep your hands out of the way of the blade when you're closing that blade. So that's going to be a strong contender. Really good ergonomics. Gets up and down the
very well known on
really
the PM2 and the PM3s. So those are fun ones.
Yeah, and coming in on the number 4 seed, the liner lock. That's a really popular one as well. It's been around for a really long time, and Michael Walker designed back in the 80s, and of course you guys know that from him coming out with the new collaborations with CRKT recently in the last year. And the liner lock, it's been a staple, and that's because it's durable, it's dependable, and it just works.
Yep.
Now,
and you will see a liner lock on most knives.
Yeah,
I would say, so.
Absolutely. I would say that's one of the most used lock types. So it's one that's been around for a while, so don't count it out. Might be a little long in the tooth, but speaking of long in the tooth, the next one is going to be kind of a surprise. In the 5 seed, it's going to be the slip joint. And that one kind of shocked me. I did not think it would seed that high. I didn't think it was going to be that popular. But our Facebook guys came out of the woodwork to really push that one up a little bit. And so slip joint is making it in at the 5 seed. Now, here's the one that fell in the seeding, and I think in the last round, going into the conference championships, I think
They fell short in the first round of the
did.
conference
Yeah.
championship because this is usually a home run hitter. They're going to win most of their games. They're going to be selected the most to be the champion. That's frame lock. What happened to the frame lock?
They just absolutely fell flat on their face, and when it came time for selection committee, they just did not perform as well as we thought they would. But they're coming in with the 6th seed there, and kind of the same with the next one. The next one's another one that's been a little long in the tooth. It's been around for a really long time, but they've got experience, they've got dependability and durability, and that's going to be the lockback. That includes ones like the Triad lock that you know and love that Andrew Demko designed for Cold Steel, that you know and love from the Buck 110s and the lockback series from Case. So kind of a marriage of locking slip joint knives, but really fell hard as far as the seeding goes, coming in that 7th seed. And then last but certainly not least, the kind of
This is a rare one, but
yeah,
it got some votes.
little known. So bolster lock coming in with the 8th seed in the lock type. So that is going to be all of our lock types: crossbar, button, compression, liner, slip joint, frame lock, lockback, and bolster lock. Those are our 8 seeds in the lock types. Moving right along, what's next?
Let's go into blade shape, and let's start from the 8th seed and go up.
I like that. I like that. So blade shape. And we actually, for the 8 seed, we combined a couple of different shapes because they didn't have enough votes. But we combined the Nessmuk and the Skinner. Those are kind of be interchangeable. Skinner blades are usually a little bit thinner, with the Nessmuk having a fatter, taller blade there, but kind of serve the same purpose with outdoor knives. That's coming in with the 8 seed, and it's going to be really tough to overcome that first round game that they're going to have.
Oh, they're going up against some tough competition. It's number 7 seed is one that can be confused with another seeding in here, but
and I was shocked by this one. This one I think could be a dark horse contender, a nice Cinderella story, if you will, as far as the blade shapes goes. That's going to be the sheep's foot.
Whoa.
Fell really hard in the rankings here, and wound up as a 7 seed, and that's going to be a good spot for that one to make some upsets. So we'll see what happens with that.
Our number 6 seed, which I honestly thought this one would be a little higher up, but I feel like it's fair. I feel like it could have been a 5-4 seed, but that's Spear Point.
Yeah.
So
Spear Point came in with the 6th seed right there. 4 votes on that one. Now the next 2 are going to be kind of surprises, and we decided to split these up. We talked about possibly keeping them in the same category and making them one and the same, but that might have made them too much of a juggernaut. So we split up Reverse Tonto and Tonto.
Reverse coming in with the number 5 seed.
Yep.
And regular Tonto coming in with the 4 seed.
And that means they're going to have to face off against one another in the first round.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a tricky game, whether you play the Reverse or play the Tonto. So are we going with tradition here and looking at Japanese culture, or are we looking toward the future with the Reverse Tonto there? That's going to be a tricky matchup. Now, the 3 seed coming in, no surprise here. I was actually maybe a little shocked that it didn't get a little higher, but coming in with the Wharncliffe on the 3 seed, that's a strong contender, and I think that's going to be probably my dark horse pick to win the whole thing in this category.
Yeah, well, our number 2 seed, which is my personal favorite, and I look for it to come in and outbeat everybody, and that is the Clip Point. I think the Clip Point will come through. It is a number 2 seed, but it's still not even close to the amount of votes that we got for number 1, which is the Drop Point. So we'll see in the voting how that'll work out. And
Drop Point run away with it in the seeding. So That's going to be a tough contender, but I'm going to stick with my Warncliffe pick as a dark horse to get into that final game there.
Yeah. At least to the semifinals, maybe.
Yeah.
So, all
Next
right.
is handle material.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we should stay on the same track. Start with the 8 seed there. And this one's kind of well.
A little let down for me, considering I collect a lot of these handles, but that is wood. We did not get any love for the wood, so wood comes in as an 8 seed.
No love for the ironwood, the redwood, the burl.
Which is going to be going up against
maple.
a 1 seed that I feel like they're not too far apart in style.
Right.
But
and in age. I mean, you think a lot of people don't realize this, but the 1 seed's been around for a really long time. So once we get to that, you'll know what I mean. Coming in at the 7th seed there is going to be FRN and GRN. And I got to say, that is a team that gets no love from a lot of people. But I got to say, there's a reason why it exists, and that's because it's dependable,
affordable,
and affordable. So it's in there, coming in at the 7th seed. Now, coming in at the 6th seed, no surprise here at all. It's exactly where I thought it would be. Aluminum's playing the game good, but I just don't think they're playing well enough at this point in the season to actually beat a lot of the top contenders.
The only way I see aluminum coming in is if we have a bunch of people out there that are trying to forge together not only a knife they love, but a knife that they would buy and can afford.
Yep.
So if you want a knife that you can afford that has a good price, you're going to go with aluminum per se over a higher metal that we're about to come up on. And you can achieve a lot of the same aesthetics with aluminum as you can with a lot of other metals out there. So
absolutely.
That is our 6 seed, and our 5 seed is G10.
Yep, and I was actually kind of surprised that it slipped this low in the seeding there, but it was a close race. It really was. But G10 falling down to that 5 seed there, and I think that puts it in a great position going forward in the competition. But it's going to have a tough round 1 up against carbon fiber as the 4th seed.
TC, I think if G10 was up against almost any other thing on this list, it could go forward. I think it's going to lose the matchup against carbon fiber all day, every day.
That's going to be a tough one right there to beat out.
It's going to be a hard matchup. And number 3, let me get a little hoop and holler out there for all the bone and stag people. There we go.
So we did combine bone and stag together. I think that's only fair because it's essentially the same material, whether it's inside the body or outside the body. So bone and stag are both one and the same in this competition, and they are playing really well. And our traditional fans came out in droves to put that one up into the 3 seed right there. And I was actually kind of shocked by that.
Yeah. Well, it'll be going up against aluminum, so that's aluminum has a chance.
It does. So, it's going to be an interesting matchup there.
I look for aluminum to be our Cinderella story of this group. I think because of its way to the top, it has a chance with that going up against the 3 seed there. And then our 2 seed is titanium.
Yeah. So the 2 seed was titanium. So they fell really hard. They were in their conference championship game and were not able to pull that one out. And that really hurt them with the seeding there.
I would say they pulled a Houston or a Purdue. So they looked strong all season and then just slipped out there at the end.
They're not moving like NC State right now.
No, they're not. And I guess my Carta is our Yukon of the group. They are number 1 seed, and they came in really strong. And we had a lot of my Carta on our show we filmed earlier today. So you can see my Carta in several different
forms here. And that's the one that I was talking about earlier that you'd be kind of surprised. Micarta has been around for over 100 years at this point. So long in the tooth, but obviously they know how to play the game, and they're doing it really well and has a lot of fans out there backing them up.
Yeah, and they're going to be going up against the number 8 seed Wood. And I think now that more people might have not been, I think more people just weren't thinking about Wood, you know.
Yeah.
They stayed consistent all season, but they just didn't win those big games, and now we can have Wood against Micarta going up there,
Yep.
and I think that would be a really good matchup.
Absolutely.
So, um,
And now we're down to the blade steel category, and we're going to start at the 8 seed there. Now we had a couple of ties within this, and we had to do some tiebreakers. So the 8 seed coming in for blade steel is going to be D2 with 5 votes.
yeah, I expected D2 to be a little bit higher considering how tough it is.
And how popular it is.
And affordable it is.
Yeah.
So you can really, and really well-known knife makers put D2 into their knives because it's reliable. So I don't think it's going to beat out our number 1 seed, which is rough. I think there's a couple on here that it could give a little good matchup to. But it is nice to see D2 made it. You know, they were they're the team in the lower conference that won their conference championship, so they got the automatic bid.
Yep.
So they're here, and they're going to put up a 5. So.
Yep. And one that has made kind of a comeback in recent times, and that's going to be our 7 seed. Been kind of a resurgence for this blade steel. They started off the season rough, but they came on strong at the end and made it in, and that's going to be S90V.
Yeah, if 7 and 8 were replaced, I do think our D2 could beat our 2 seed.
Yep.
But the way it lined out, D2 is probably going to be out in the first round. S90.
It's going to be a tough contest.
I look forward for our 7 seed to beat our 2 seed. So I believe that will happen. And our 6 seed is a very popular one. It's one that kind of brought affordable premium steel to the market.
Yep.
That is 154.
154 CM. Yeah, no surprise there. It's played steady, played consistent, and always have and always will. Good stainless steel, and like you said, affordable. Plays the game right.
Yeah. Number 5, most people know this one, and I think I know the crew that, no pun intended, that voted for this one, and that would probably be our Benchmade fan guys, and that would be Crewwear.
Benchmade and maybe some Spyderco guys thrown in there that are trying to get their hands on those micarta releases. Those are tough to get. The Crew Cartas. Those are tough to get your hands on, but you're hopeful, and the Crewwear is hopeful too. It's gonna have. I don't think this is gonna be such a tough matchup for them.
With the 4 seed?
With the 4 seed coming in with S35VN.
No, 4 seed is S45VN.
Negative.
No?
Negative.
Okay. I wrote down S45. So S35.
S35. Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be an interesting matchup there between the 5 and the 4 seed there. S35VN, really popular, really substantial.
They've made their way into the bushcraft market.
Yep.
So they're in a little bit of everything from fixed blades to folders. So.
And then Crewwear is kind of on the other end of the spectrum.
They're even S35s in traditionals now with case. So they're a little bit of everywhere. It's another one that's kind of like 154. It's a premium, affordable blade still.
And I would say, you know, as far as S35 being in so many different markets, they played their out of conference games really well, and they've been performing really well. So that's really what put them so high on this list. Number 3 on the list was kind of a surprise to me. I expected it to be at least a 2, but it didn't make it there, and that's going to be M390.
Yeah, M390, they also had a really well out of conference schedule. They've been around with a lot of makers out there. And, you can see it in a lot of brands, and it is one that you know, M390 is in Spyderco's, it's in Microtex, it's in big brand, it's in
Benchmades, it's all over the place. It's in Wee Knives, it's in Kaiser's. They've got it everywhere.
Yeah, M390 is a very debatable one up against if it was going up against S35. I think fan base has probably pushed this one through. So
yeah,
M390 is I've got a couple of those myself. I enjoy them. So it'll be interesting to see them going up against 154 CM.
Yeah, it will. It absolutely will.
I think the blade steel category is such a close race with the votes. Anybody can be tipped over into winning this, and Number 2, which is probably a surprise for a lot of people, but that's
Not me. Not me. I saw the way that they were playing, and they've been playing the game a really long time. They've got good, I would say, when you play well together, what is that? When you've got a good team spirit, a good
chemistry.
chemistry. That's what I'm
chemistry?
looking. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, chemistry.
yeah.
That's exactly what I was looking for, and that's going to be 1095. Coming in strong with the fixed blade bushcraft community, but also making its way into some folders as well, with like our Queen USA made knives here. 1095 has been super popular. GEC uses it on their folders, and there's a reason for it. It's easy to sharpen. It works. It's easy to get hair popping sharp. It holds an edge pretty well, and it is insanely tough. Insanely tough.
Yeah. It'll be going up against a tough opponent with S90. So
That's going to be a tricky matchup right there.
don't sleep on S90. I think if enough people see that, if the bushcraft crew don't come out and our traditional crew don't come out, 1095 will not win that matchup.
No, it's going to be a tough matchup for them for sure. And of course, the Juggernaut at the top of the list, and there's no shock here. We've seen this coming for the last couple of years. They recruited well, and they put everything together.
They have a huge fan base.
Yeah,
they've worked. We've got a lot of bandwagoners that
yeah.
have jumped onto this one, and that would be Magna Cut.
Yep.
So, Magna Cut, congratulations, you are our number 1 seed. You will be going up against D2 in the first round.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
It's going to be a tough matchup, but we're looking forward to this tournament. We hope you are too. We're really excited. So, take a look down in the description below. We're going to have it ready for you. All your instructions on what you need to do for this first set of games right here. Get your votes in there, and that's going to determine who moves on.
We prefer you use the link, but if that's just too much for you, you can submit your selections in the comments below, and we will sort through those and go through them. But if you click the link, it'll be a lot easier.
Yep.
And
it's just going to be a simple poll. All you got to do is vote each game, each individual game right there. Submit your vote, and then we'll let you guys know on Tuesday. Is that right?
Tuesday will be our reveal of the winners of the first round,
and who moves on to that second round in this tournament. It's going to be dog eat dog.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to say I think the winner will be, and I'm going to go with a Magna Cut. I'm not trying to be like too much on all the 1 seeds, but I would say Magna Cut Crossbar Titanium and Clip Point. So I've got 2 1 seeds and two 2 seeds going all the way.
I like that. So I'm going to have to go, that's tough. I'm going to have to go Magna Cut Crossbar Lock as well. Those two are just playing the game too well right now for anybody to really compete against them. But then in the other categories, it's going to be tricky. I'm going to hang in there, and I'm going to say that carbon fiber is going to make it, and I'm going to put that 4 seed in there. And then for the shape, those are really tough matchups. I'm going to have to say Warncliffe is going to make it then. So I've got 2 1 seeds, a 4 seed, and a 3 seed.
Yeah, well,
that's what I'm going with. Those are my way too early picks.
Way too early.
Tournament.
Yep.
So
let us know what you think below, and like I said, hit that link if you are seeing this on Instagram or Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Go to our bio, click the profile. There'll be a link there, and you'll see some stuff. Or like I said, you can do it the long way and type out all your answers in the comment, and we will get to them there as well. So this will be fun. Let's see where we go, and we'll see you Tuesday.